Welcome to the Forever Better Academy podcast, where you will be given the principles, tools, and techniques to reach the next stage on your journey of self-mastery. Who could you become? I'm your host, Wade Vincent. Welcome back, guys. Whether you look for problems or solutions, you'll find them. My name is Wade Vincent. Thank you for joining me today on today's episode of the Forever Better Academy podcast, episode 73. So today, I want to talk to what you look for is what you see, right? So, as I say, there's only two kinds of people in this world, right? If you really boil it down, there are the people who look for problems, and then there are the people who look for solutions. There's really, at least in my experience and you know the people I've come across and in my journey so far, there's no middle ground, right? And we all know people like this, right? If you think through your circle of friends and acquaintances and the people that you're exposed to and know that are sort of, you know, within your realm, right? All of us know someone who loves to complain, who always finds something wrong. There's always a burden or a hindrance or a struggle or some sort of frustration that they never really do anything about, but they very much make you aware of it, right? And it's almost like you know, there's people that love to complain, right? You hear them, you know, like it's almost like part of who they are, right? We all know someone like that who just loves to complain. And then you know, many of us also have, you know, quite possibly in the same circle, is those people that just seem to have a knack for figuring things out, right? You know, those people who they're very cool and calm and collected, and when problems and trouble or challenges come their way, they just deal with it. They handle it, they take it on board, and they find a solution, and then they just keep moving, right? I'm sure you guys listening know someone in each of those camps, right? So the thing, like, and I've spoken to this a couple of times, right, is all of us have problems. Every single person in the world has problems. And a lot of times, you know, we will sympathize with others or empathize with others and listen to, you know, their complaints or their struggles because we're there for one another, right? But I know I've been in those positions, and likely you have been as well, where you become an ear for someone because you care about that person, and then you're basically their sounding board indefinitely because other people get sick and tired of hearing them complain and move on with their lives. And if you allow them to, they will just take your time and your ear and your attention and focus away from your own problems that you're trying to solve so they can tell you about theirs. And not even for a reason of wanting you to provide any advice, which is even worse, right? Like they're not even asking for help or coming to you because they're a solution person. They're a person who looks for problems and continues to complain because it's almost, I guess, an attention-seeking behavior, or, you know, that's sometimes the way that, you know, the only way that some people can get attention in their lives, right? Or make people feel sorry for them, or a sense of pity, because we all crave attention. We all need validation and you know, our connection with others, right? So there's various ways to do that, and this is one of the less healthy ways, right? So as I say, all of us have problems, and every one of us has to figure them out. We've all got to go through it. We all need to be creative and, you know, resourceful and figure out how best we can navigate, because there will always be a new problem that arises. And the people that get better at addressing those problems, identifying them and finding, you know, quick ways or finding ways to solve them or eliminate those problems quickly and adapt often do far better in life than the others that hang on to the problem for too long, and there's too much focus and attention on the problem itself rather than the solution to the problem. So in terms of when I talk to the problems that we face, there are always going to be problems from outside, right? There's unforeseen circumstances or events. Say a loved one gets sick, or you lose a big contract or a deal or an opportunity within your business, or even worse, you lose your business, or there's health complications. There's like natural events. There's all kinds of things that are completely outside of our control and outside of our power to stop from happening. But the thing that we can do is respond accordingly, and what is within our power is finding those solutions to the things outside of our control, right? And then the other side of that, the flip side to that coin, is we have problems that come from within, right? Like it might be negative behavioral patterns, or patterns of behavior that don't serve you well, or conditioning from your childhood that's destructive or ill-serving, challenges with trying to navigate social situations, just uncomfortable experiences right from our childhood, or some moment that we've assigned meaning to that becomes an obstacle or a struggle that we have to go through. We all have these conditioning, right? As I say, so there's different kinds of problems that we all face, but the key is really, it doesn't matter what type of problem it is. It's really about focusing on the problem itself or focusing on the solution to the problem. Now, ultimately, like, to solve the problem, you need to be aware of the problem, right? So most certainly, it's okay to identify a problem or bring it to attention, or perhaps discuss it with your close friends, family, loved ones, your significant other. Very much, if you're looking for using that sort of mastermind type group scenario where putting lots of minds together, come up with solutions quickly and in a more efficient way, there's absolutely no problem in going to your group to help you to find creative solutions. But there's no real benefit in going to your group just to complain to them, because you just want to vent, you want to get it out, right? And you see this a lot. This is super common on social media. You'll see this all the time. Like, I said, everyone has problems, right? We all do. And, even myself, we're all guilty of complaining at times, right? It's human, right? It's frustrating sometimes. The best therapy is just having a whinge, getting it out, right? You need to get it off your chest, right? Get that weight off your shoulders. And sometimes just saying it out loud is one of the best ways to do that. But the key in doing that is that can't become the way you address it continually, right? Once in a while is okay, get it out, blow off some steam, get it out of your system is fantastic to do that. You should never bottle it in and hold it down. It's far more healthy to get it out, but it has to be in a way that's not a negative trait, as I say, like a attention-seeking behavior, or ultimately, like, or let's say, for example, becoming addicted to your problems, right? Like, where you're not even looking to solve them anymore because they become like your identity, or you identify with your problems, right? And this is I've seen this before where there's been members in my family that it's been very challenging in those scenarios where you love that person, you care for that person, you want to provide them a sympathetic, or as I say, empathetic ear, and even offer solutions, but sometimes they don't want to hear it. And it very much plays into the victim mentality, right? And if that's the identity that you assign yourself with, identify with, or relate to, or see yourself as, in that box that you put yourself in as a victim, when you solve your problems and you remove your problems and you take them away, and you no longer have those problems, and you're not a victim anymore, if your identity is tied into the belief that you're a victim, then you lose your sense of identity, right? And we all cling deeply to it because we need to have that stability, that ground level, that base to work from, right? We need to understand, or tell a story, or construct an identity for us to navigate from, right? Because once you understand your identity and who you are and your framework of how you make decisions, or the decisions that you make are based upon the person that you believe you are, right? So identity is vital for all of us. So it's a very complex position to be in when your identity is tied around being a victim, and all the problems in your life, and then when those problems go away, you lose your identity. So you cling. You'll see people that in that victim mentality will cling to their problems because their problems define them, right? And they're not looking to solve them. And those kind of people, you can't help. You have to keep moving, because they will suck you into that world, and then their problems become your problems, and it's like this, like a cancer that spreads that you've just got to move away from, right? We all know toxic people. Now, and to sort of circle back to the concept here, right? As I say, what you look for is what you will see. Okay, like there's no gray area here, right? The key, when this clicks, right, it's like this awakening in your mind, this understanding, like you almost have like this epiphany of whatever you focus on, more of it appears, right? So I think it was attributed to Henry Ford, the great automobile maker, in America. He said, "Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right." Right? And it sums it up beautifully, right? Like, it's what you look for is what you see. If you believe that you can solve your problems, you will. If you believe that you can't solve your problems and there's too much and you're just never gonna ever get away from them, and this is tied into the language that we use, right? The thoughts that we have become our words, and our words become our actions, and our actions define our lives. So if you're constantly saying, "Oh man, I've got so many problems, I'm never going to get out from under this debt, I'm struggling, I never make enough cash, I'm always tired, I can't get enough sleep, I can never find time to have exercise, I can't eat healthy, I'm overwhelmed," you're going to be. Right now, and this is not to say, we all have those moments and experience, and we are human, and it's challenging to switch that focus sometimes, especially when we've grown up and been, as I say, conditioned to look for those aspects. Especially if you have grown up with parents that are very resourceful and look for solutions, it'll naturally, flow on down to you, and those positive traits will rub off. And as a child growing up, you will likely have those same kind of abilities to focus on the solutions. Now, if you grew up in a family where there was like a lot of struggle, and your parents were always frustrated and constantly focused on their problems, as you grow, you're going to see more problems than you see solutions, because that's all your world has been, what you've been exposed to, like whether it's unintentional or intentional by your parents. They don't, often they're not doing it on purpose. That's just probably what they were experienced experiencing or exposed to from their parents, right? These are the patterns that get passed down through generations, right? So whatever you focus on, more of it will appear. Now, there's all these horrible things going on. Most certainly identify them. As I said, you can name them, and then once you understand that they exist and you've identified them, switch straight away over to solution. It's got to be a focus shift, because you will get sucked in and stuck and dwell too heavily on the problem. And when your attention is so focused on the problem, it's narrow vision, right? You're zoomed right down, looking just at that problem right in front of your face. And when all you see is that problem just sitting right there, you don't have any bigger thinking. You can't look around and see what are the opportunities, what are the solutions, what resources do I have at hand, where can I go from here, how do I make a better decision, what do I need to do to solve this problem. Once I understand that, what are the steps to do that thing, right? As soon as you zoom out and you look from 30,000 feet, you've got a greater view of the landscape that is around you, and then you can start to see opportunities because your focus has expanded, right? You're not drilled down and just attention on the problem, right? It's critical what you focus on. I'm telling you guys, I've seen this on both sides. I've lived on both sides. I've focused on all the drama and problems that existed in my life, and nothing happened about them except that I felt miserable, and it felt like they were more than they were because that's all I was thinking about. And then I've been on the other side where I've been thankfully around people who've helped recondition my thinking and how I approach my problems, and how to be self-sufficient in finding solutions for my own problems. And then when I now have a problem, the focus is on, how do I adapt? How do I fix this problem? What do I need to do? What am I missing? What is this trying to teach me? Right? There's a lesson here. How do I take this challenge or this obstacle or this frustration and turn it into something that's a benefit to me and be thankful for it? Because as they say, right, everything happens for you, not to you, right? So if you're looking for solutions constantly, even if they don't come straight away, and you're feeling a little frustrated and it's taking longer than you anticipate it takes to solve these problems, the fact that your focus is on solutions, you'll start to see them. They'll start to appear because you're opening your world and your horizons to invite them in, right? Like, it's like that simple thing of, when like let's say you're focused on, I think I've used this example in the past, buying a new car, right? And you're looking at a red sports car. Everywhere you start seeing red sports cars. And it's no more than that was ever around before. It's just that your focus is on those red sports cars because it's something that it's in your mind continually. So your mind is picking up on it. It's that simple, right there. I promise you, no matter what problem you're facing in life, almost without a doubt, somebody in the history of humanity has had the same problem and has found a solution to that problem that you can use to solve it for yourself. And not only that, there have been people that have found multiple different effective solutions to the same problem that you can use. Everything that you could possibly think of that you will experience or go through, short of something, current and modern like space travel, right? It's likely happened before. And I guarantee there's a book about it. And I guarantee someone whose life has changed for the better because they found the solution has shared it with others. Everything that you're looking for, every problem you could ever imagine, the solutions are out there. They're just waiting for you. All you've got to do is look for them. And as soon as you start to shift that focus and look for them, that's what you'll see, right? What you look for is what you'll see. So some and this is key to remember. Some problems just take a little more effort than others. Every single problem is solvable, right? If you think about the entirety of the structure of society and commerce is based upon solving problems. As a species, we make a we it's become the foundation and a habit of our actions and interactions with one another, right? That's how we do business. Somebody has a problem that needs to be solved, someone sells that solution, and business occurs. Then everything that we do together as a species, as a society, is helping each other get better. We're looking for ways to solve each other's problems because it's profitable. The exchange of goods or services for something of value from one party to the other, everything's built around that, right? Entirely built around that. Now, it's easy for me to sit here and say this to you and say focus more on the solutions right now, and I want to give you some actionable steps to take and the things that I use that made a massive difference in my life, right? Especially when I said I went from being that person who everything was wrong in my life. I was always looking for all the problems and not taking responsibility and ownership for my decisions that were driving a lot of these problems occurring in my life because it was my actions, right? You don't keep having the same problems over and over again if you're solution driven and you're taking action to solve those problems, right? You solve them. That's ultimately what happens. The problems get solved. You learn how to solve your own problems. You get better at it. You become more adaptive to the things that the world throws at you, and life becomes a lot more comfortable because you understand how to better navigate through the inevitable problems that we all face. So the first thing that I did that I cannot recommend highly enough, that I think truly has been a real invaluable tool that shifted my mindset entirely, is keep a gratitude journal. Super simple, right? Every day before you go to bed, take a book, and it doesn't even have to be an onerous task. Write down 3 dot points and write down, today I am grateful for, and write 3 things. That's it. And you will see within 30 days, I promised you, an incredible shift in not only feeling lighter, like your sort of energy and your aura, just your spirit, it livens up, right, when you do this, because you're realizing, you're focusing on the right things, right? And this doesn't even have to be anything massively significant or crazy, right? Like some of the simplest things I would write, I would come home and it would take my attention away from the problems of the day, right? And now it's not to pretend that they didn't exist, but a lot of them aren't as bad as we make out that they are, right? We overinflate the severity of our problems quite often. So I would take out the book and I would write down, today I am grateful that I was able to have lunch under a shady tree. Today I am grateful that I was able to read 10 pages of a book. Today I am grateful that I got to make breakfast for my sons. Little things, right? But these, like, there's this wonder. And it brings that focus back into the goodness and all the important things in your life, that when you forget about all the good in your life, there's nothing else left to focus on but problems, right? You're filling your cup with all the negative and all the frustrations that you face because you've overlooked the good that's right in front of your face, right? I'm telling you now, this is one of the most helpful things you will ever do. If you feel that you can't get through whatever you're going through right now, and you just feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you're overwhelmed and you've got more problems than you can imagine, take 10 minutes, but do it every night before you go to bed, right? Because you're finishing your day focused on positivity, and you go to sleep with goodness and happiness and gratitude in your heart. You'll sleep better, right? You'll wake up less anxious. Like whenever you've been worried, I know this has been the case, and you just lay in bed and your mind's racing and it's ticking over, and you think about all the problems and all the dramas and all the crazy stuff you got to face tomorrow. And then you find you can't sleep, and you're up, and then you're frustrated because you can't sleep, and then you haven't even started the next day, and you're already worried because I'm only going to get 4 hours sleep tonight or 2 hours sleep tonight, and then I got to do it all again. I've been there. That was my daily routine. 14-hour work days, 4 hours sleep a night, and stressing and miserable, and not having enough money to put food on the table, and going further into debt. And yeah, and this changed everything. Thank you, God. Thank you for today I was able to eat a fresh piece of fruit. Right? The simplest things. It doesn't have to be like monumental. Today I am grateful that I woke up healthy and strong, and I was able to go to work and better myself and provide for my family. Today I am thankful I was able to see my husband or my wife and their beautiful smile before I left the house, and tell them I love them and get to hug them. I promise this will change so much in your life, and when you're sleeping better, when you do this at nighttime is key, right? And when you'll sleep better because you're in a better place. There's a peace and a calmness because you're focused on solutions and everything to be thankful for. And when you're focused on the things you're grateful for, more of it will appear. The universe has this interesting way of giving you more of what you're thinking about, right? If you're focused on all the wonder and joy and magic and beauty and love and amazing things that exist all around us, and not even overseas or far away, like right outside your door. There's like, depending obviously, of course, where you live, but like something as simple as like a little bird flying into a tree and singing a song. Something about the color of the sunlight in the evening as it hits some flowers in your garden. The sky being like golden as the sun sets, and you're sitting down to a meal with your loved ones. These little things, a roof over your head. I have clothes, fresh water, right? Little things that sometimes we take, especially in the developed world, for granted. I promise you, you will sleep better when you do this every night. You'll wake up refreshed, and you'll have more energy. You'll be invigorated and recharged, and you'll have, and this is a flow-on effect, right? Is the key is you are going to have more energy to solve your problems because you've recharged yourself with all the wonder that's around you, that's there to inspire you and give you energy and abundance to show you can handle anything. It all ties in together. It's all part of the same experience we're having, right? What you look for, you will see, right now, and beyond. Now, and the second thing that is a flow on from this, right, is action. You must take action, right? You when you've started with the gratitude and you've been thankful and you've shifted your focus away to the things that energize you enough so you have capacity and ability to take on those problems that you have, that we all have, you must solve them. You must take action to solve them. Otherwise, if you don't take action, it'll falsely start to get back into your head that oh no, there's no solutions, and you'll revert back to facing the problems again. You've got to do something about your problems. All of us have the same decision to make, right? When we have a problem, how resourceful, how creative can we be? The greatest human strength, the superpower we have is creativity. It's limitless, it's abundant, you'll never run out of it. There is no end to how creative you can be. This is why our society has advanced, our species has advanced as far as we have, because we are innovative, we find solutions to problems, we've created our world. Right? Like this is what we do as a species. It's within you to do it. It's not something that everyone but you possesses. It's an ability that we all share to be creative and solve problems in innovative ways. Right? We use tools like from way back of being like primitive cave people making stone tools. Right from then, like we're solving problems then. That's what we do, right? So don't feel like you can't find a solution to your problems. You're built to find those solutions to your problems. So when you're energized and you're not overwhelmed and you're not burnt out because you're focused on the gratitude and you feel better and you have topped your cup up and you're ready to face your problems with solutions, take action, figure a way that you can solve that problem, consider different alternatives and ideas, and then act upon them. You must act upon it. If it's something simple as you know that you're unhealthy and you feel miserable every day, take action, eat better. Take action to go to sleep earlier. Take action to exercise daily. Our choices define who we are. That's it. Most of our problems we put upon ourselves because we're taking the wrong actions. Problems generally are just consequences to that we might not have realized. It's cause and effect, right? We don't realize sometimes something we've done here over this side has this flow on and has created a problem over here, and we have the ability to solve this problem creatively and also to stop the action that's causing the problem or take an action that will solve the problem in a better way. It's that easy. It really, 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 really is, I promise you guys. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. You don't have to look for some, the top 10 ways to solve my problems on a blog post. It's none of that. You just bring it down, first principles, right? How do I solve this in the most simplified and effective easy way? And chances are 9 times out of 10 the first thing that comes to mind is probably the right solution, right? Deep down we know, we have instincts, we start to understand what we got to do. It's the difference between doing what we know we should be doing and not doing it, right? That's all it is. And when you focus, as I say, what you look for you'll see. And when you've built this positive habit of all the things you're thankful for, writing this gratitude journal, make sure you do this. I promise it will change your life. 30 days, every night, do this, at least 3 things. You see the world through new eyes. Things that you never noticed before will appear, and you will be amazed and baffled that you never noticed these things before because they were always there. Right? I make a point to be thankful and not overlook those things or take them for granted. Little things like the texture of bark on a tree. Touch it, feel it, be in awe of it, be inspired, be amazed by that. The different variety of green shades of leaves on the trees outside my house. The feeling of a light rainstorm when the raindrops hit your skin. Close your eyes, put your face outside, go outside. The feeling of the warm sun on your skin. The feeling. Remember, when you eat a meal, slow down. The feeling of being satiated and full and satisfied and thankful for that feeling. There's plenty of wonder to focus on, I promise you, right? So with that, again, what you look for is what you'll see. All right? Who could you become? This is Wade Vincent. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. I appreciate you guys taking some of the time in your day to spend it with me listening to the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe and share this content. If you know somebody that needs to hear these messages and it will make a positive impact, I'm trying to pay it forward for all the blessings and wonder that people have shared with me, and I want to share those lessons with others. So I thank you once again, and I will catch you next Friday for another episode. Until then, write your gratitude journal. All right, guys, thanks for that. I'll speak to you soon.